If you're a follower of this channel, you're probably wondering, where has Rick been? Because I haven't made any content in a little while. And so that inspired me today to talk about momentum. The key to life is building momentum. The key to achievement is momentum. Even a little bit of momentum consistently applied will produce incredible results. It's like the snowball rolling down the mountain. Eventually it becomes unstoppable. But in the real world, momentum isn't perfectly linear. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. It's going to look more like a sine wave. Even though the overall trend line might be in a positive direction, there will be moments where you're not doing so good and moments where you're doing great. And it's sort of like those of us that train jujitsu, the way our jujitsu is. Some days we're riding high. It feels like, we've made a breakthrough. It feels like everything's clicking. And then we'll hit the valley and all of a sudden nothing's working. You're going to class and you're waging the same battles and you're frustrated. And so there too, the key is to not get too high when you're doing well, not get too low when you're doing poorly. You can't let the valleys derail you further, right? Because those valleys have already caused a little disruption in your momentum and you can't make it worse, right? So you have to be a little bit stoic. You have to be a little bit stoic in life, knowing that you're not going to be able to make perfectly sustained progress every day. So if you get home from work, and you know you need to go train jujitsu, but you're a little hungry and you're a little tired and you're feeling like taking the night off, well, you might as well go train because you might get sick tomorrow. You might catch the flu, which is what happened to me most recently, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And you might have to take some time off. So you have to manage your momentum. And so that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. I gained a ton of momentum in 2023. That was the year that I finally got myself back on track. Those of you who know my story know that I hit a couple bumps in the road. I got divorced, I moved, I shut a company down, and I ended up having to kind of reinvent myself. And that was hard. It was really hard. You go to a little dark place for a while, you lick your wounds, and you wonder what you're doing with your life. But 2023, I was able to put it together in a sustained way and get myself moving in a positive direction. That's what you have to do, even if you don't know exactly the direction that you should be going. There's something called analysis paralysis, or the indecision that comes when you don't have it completely mapped out. I can tell you in my own life, the times I've been least inspired, the times I've felt the least creative is when I'm just staring out the window asking, what am I doing with my life? You have to get yourself on a path, even if it's not the correct path. There's a great book I read last year, or a couple years ago, I guess, called Why Greatness Can't Be Planned. I believe that's the title. I should have looked it up. But Why Greatness Can't Be Planned. They make the case that almost nothing that has been invented came about because the inventor set out to build that thing. Almost every invention happens as a result of someone pursuing something, and through that pursuit, they gain some insight, they gain some knowledge, they see an opportunity. Something happens that allows them to identify this new opportunity that they never would have seen had they not been on this path. And many examples I could cite. I'll give one, the microwave oven. If you had set out to create an oven that heats things very, very quickly, it's unlikely that you would have looked to the world of radar technology at something, at microwave technology. But it turns out that the inventor of that technology noticed that his chocolate bars kept melting every time they were near the machinery. And so that led him to investigate, and it turns out that microwaves can heat up food. And so they built the microwave oven. And so if you are somebody that is, you're on a path, you're not sure if it's the right path, that's okay. You got to keep grinding and pushing, knowing that you're going to work it out. Eventually, you're going to be on the path that you need to be. I don't know if I'm exactly on the path that I need to be, but I'm taking those steps every day. So the end of last year, my trip to Costa Rica, that was kind of the high point of last year. And if you've never been to a retreat like Hero BJJ down in Costa Rica, man, you really should go. And by the way, Roy Dean, who I went to Costa Rica with, he has released the training footage from that session, and it's incredible, incredible material. It's, I mean, nobody teaches better than Roy Dean. You know, it's funny, he went to Boston to hang out with the guys from BJJ Fanatics and do some promo videos over there. And I remember Bernardo Faria said, nobody articulates as well as Roy Dean. And that's true. Nobody teaches as well as Roy Dean. And if you want to watch that footage, which I filmed and it looks great, and not to be immodest, but nobody films jiu-jitsu as good as me, just go to Roy Dean's channel, YouTube/ @RoyDean is his channel, and you can watch that footage. And so that was the high point of my year, but the day I got home from Costa Rica, my knee started swelling up, and it turns out I got a bacterial infection in my leg while I was down here, which I chronicle in another video, a few videos back, and it derailed me. I couldn't train, I couldn't teach jiu-jitsu, I couldn't teach private lessons. I was derailed for a few weeks, and I wasn't able to train. And finally, after a few weeks, I came back, I got a couple training sessions in, and then the holidays came, and then I had a family obligation that took me out of commission for almost a week. And on the heels of that, I caught this nasty flu, head cold, chest cold thing that seems to be going around right now. And that was like 12 days ago. And man, it hit me hard. I was sick. And so from that moment that I came home from Costa Rica to today, I haven't trained a lot. I haven't taught much. I've done very little. My first training session, my first jiu-jitsu training session was 2 nights ago with Jean-Jacques Machado. I had an opportunity to go up there. I'm helping a friend of mine with a project for a nonprofit that he runs. And so we interviewed Jean-Jacques, and I got to train with him and do some stuff. It was really amazing. I love that guy. And so that was my first time back, and I felt terrible, man. My cardio was bad. I could barely breathe. But at least I took that step, and I feel like, okay, I'm regaining that momentum a little bit. And when you're sick, I mean, you're just not very productive. I tried to be productive last week when I was sick. I actually built a bunch of product, new product for my store. If you haven't been to the apparel store or the swag store in a little bit, you might be surprised. I've got some new rash guard designs. I've got some new t-shirt designs, some hoodies, and some stuff. I'm really proud of all the stuff in there. So you can go to my website, rickellis.com, and check that stuff out. And while you're there, by the way, you might sign up for the newsletter, because I am putting a live event together. And this might become a series. It might become a brand that we try to scale and turn it into something very special. I don't have any details yet that I can talk about this yet, but I'll talk about it here real soon. And so if you want to be notified, probably the easiest way would be to get onto my mailing list. So that's, I think, all I got. I mean, this isn't much of a video today. I just wanted to step back in and let you guys know that I'm still kicking. I'm still alive. I'm super excited about 2024. I feel like the momentum is building, even though I hit a couple walls, and but I'm feeling better, and I'm excited to get back at it and start teaching more and training a lot, working out a lot. I've been, you know, I am motivated right now to get in the best shape of my life and really see if I can, you know, lead the way. I really want to lead the way. I get so many emails and messages from people that seem to think I'm an inspiring story, and I'm just a dude. I'm just a normal guy. I'm nothing special, but it's inspiring to me, you know, to be that guy and to lead by example and to show that you can train jiu-jitsu even though you're old as dirt, and you can continue to improve physically even though you're as old as dirt, and it's okay, you know. Jiu-jitsu's hard when you get older. You know, I hurt almost every morning getting out of bed, but it's worth it. It's worth it for the positive benefits, and I want to be an example in that regard. So I wish you an amazing 2024. If you're feeling a little bit lost right now, just get yourself on a path. It doesn't matter. Take that step. Take the smallest executable step that moves you in the general direction you want to go. Even if you don't know, the particulars, just do it. And then with some consistency, all of a sudden, life is going to open up and you're going to find opportunities and things that you hadn't even really considered simply because you were willing to take that step. And if you're already on a track, if you're making progress, maybe with a business, maybe in school, maybe in whatever, keep at it. Keep at it. Keep pushing during those times when things are good, knowing that you're going to have those valleys to get through. And that's just life. It's frustrating, but don't make it worse when you get derailed by, lingering too long in that place. Get yourself back. So, yeah, that's all I got. All right, we'll talk next time.